The menace of trafficking in persons came to the limelight in Nigeria in the 1980s and assumed a larger dimension in national discourse in the late 1990s, with women and children being the most vulnerable. It is estimated that between 750,000 and 1 million persons are trafficked annually in Nigeria, and over 25% of those trafficked are across the states, 23% within the states, and 2% are trafficked outside the country. Welcome to Crime Watch. I'm Ivy Kano. We'll begin with the crime news.
Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Sadiq Abubakar says the Nigerian Air Force will soon take delivery of 2 additional helicopter gunships in its bid to enhance counter-insurgency efforts. He disclosed this at the winging ceremony of the Nigerian Air Force pilots in Abuja. A total number of 13 pilots were winged into the Nigerian Air Force at this event. These pilots comprise of 12 helicopter pilots, including the first female combat helicopter pilot and the first female fighter jet pilot in the 55-year history of the Nigerian Air Force.
The Nigerian Air Force will continue to discharge her constitutional responsibility of protecting Nigeria's sovereignty and integrity. I must add that the mission of a fruitful flying career has just begun, and as such, you must stay inspired. You must open your minds to learn and be prepared to be guided by your senior colleagues in the field.
And these young ladies and these young men that were winged today had the opportunity to finish their training in a very, very short time. Some just within 5 months, within 1 year, they were able to have good planes to fly. So we need more of such political will from our leaders.
My advice is to say they should never say no to opportunities. As a lady, there's nothing you cannot do. You don't have to look at a job or a work and feel like, okay, it's only for men because it's been male dominated. You can always strive to be there. You can always put in your efforts and then just never relent and don't say no to opportunities.
The Nigerian Air Force has destroyed a meeting venue of Boko Haram insurgents at Bobo Sheikh, close to Sambisa Forest in Borno State. Director of Public Relations and Information Ibikunle Daramola says the operation was conducted after days of surveillance and intelligence report. The building was being used as a rendezvous by the insurgents before launching attacks against troops and civilians. This prompted the Air Force to deploy its fighter aircraft to attack the hideout, leading to the destruction of the structure and killing an unspecified number of insurgents. The police and management of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, have advised parents to always check their children, know where they live and the company they keep while in school in order to ensure their safety when they are away from home. This came on the heels of a robbery incident which took place at a private hostel outside the university's campus. The police public relations officer in Ogun State, Abimbola Oyeyemi, made this appeal while speaking on the robbery attack on some students of the institution.
Parents should know where their children are. They should know the type of place where their children are being accommodated so that they will be able to access the security situation of that place. If the place is too isolated, it is advisable that they should seek accommodation elsewhere for their wards so that they will not fall victim of this attack, especially the female students.
Parents who have students staying off campus hostels should make it as a matter of duty to visit these students and identify, be able to locate where their wards are staying, to see that even in their own normal situation would they allow their students, their wards to stay in those, because some areas are there, they are already of security concerns.
Inside, we're like 4 inside the room, so we just heard the knocking on our door, like we're knocking. So I was even shouting out who was there, and nobody answered me. So like it took them for like a minute. So they just entered. So when they entered, they came to me, started slapping me. From there, started collecting my friends' phones because we were 4 inside the room.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested 94 suspected internet fraudsters after raiding some nightclubs in Oshogbo, Osun State. The agency's spokesman, Wilson Owejerin, says the operation comes after intelligence reports revealed that they were organizing a party to celebrate their loot. 19 exotic cars, laptops, several sophisticated mobile phones and other items were also confiscated. The EFCC says the suspects are currently undergoing further interrogation and those indicted will be charged to court.
It is supposed to be a reformation center in Daura. It has a widespread reputation as parents, guardians bring their wards from far and near to be reformed. But all is not as it seems. A riot exposed the inner working of the center. Inmates were found in a pathetic condition. They cry out for help over the humiliating, torturous condition they have been subjected to. Majority of them had lived here for long, hoping that someday they will be returned to society as changed persons. Their hopes grew dimmer by the day until the riot that exposed their condition of living to the outside world.
And when the torturing continues is when you have scabies like this, they will take sand and soap and then detergent or omo with big stone. They are going to scrub it to the extent that it will be bleeding. You'll be feeling the pain, like you should just remove the part and throw it away. And there is going to be 12 or 16 stroke of cane. Please, parents, take care of your children very well. Don't say that you cannot control your children. It's not so. The other places you take them, places like this place, homosexualism is the #1 day of the place.
Human rights organizations are concerned with primitive techniques and unhygienic conditions inmates are subjected to. A resident of Daura and practicing journalist explained that neighbors of the center had been one who tipped off the police to rescue the inmates.
Traditionally, we have this type of rehabilitation centers where parents used to send their pupils for rehabilitation if they are found maybe misbehaving within the family. It is a part of the tradition of Hausa or Islamic teaching, but not this way.
The police commissioner, after inspecting the center, subsequently arrested the proprietor and 2 others.
This Malam, I understand, started well, and gradually the center degenerated to this unfortunate state. Shabby looking accommodations, 6 rooms to accommodate about 300 and something people. I think the situation became so bad that they could no longer bear it. They revolted.
The Emir of Daura, Farouk Umar Farouk, expressed his support to the police command, asking that justice should be allowed to prevail on all concerned.
Welcome to our special interview segment on Crime Watch, and today we'll be talking about human trafficking, and to do justice to that is O.J. Akinwale, a human rights activist. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, it's a pleasure being here.
I met you sometime in 2016, when I was doing a story on a particular girl that was trafficked from Nigeria to Libya. Now, how has the journey been?
The journey is, we can say, is hydra in nature. That is, we have the best because we want to achieve more, but because of the peculiar situation of the country and funds, so we're able to, but still, we're able to make impact, and we have over 250 people that we're able to help in rescuing them. So for information, some are direct rescuing, some for the information given to them, we're able, even yesterday, we were able to rescue somebody from Ghana. And we have 4 other cases unresolved yet. And from the information given to us by her, we have only 1 person. So Every day it is a journey that we believe that by going out there, giving out the information, it will reduce it. But because of the pressure, some from parents, some because of the economic situation, especially for women and girls. So the economic reality is still pushing them. And then we have, because it is a crime that is very easy and it is easily untraceable. That's the reason we have more and more victims. And instead of doing rescue, initially we want to do rescue. And because of the journey now, we have to add education, information, going from one place to the other. We've added Lagos State schools, especially those students from SS1 to SS3, because they are the more target. And again, as we are going, we have a mindset, we have a style that we have adopted, but the traffickers too, they change style. So the information we are giving to the victim to save some, they define and design a new way, and that one is targeting, they are targeting those who are in shops. They just said, okay, the person who have not maybe sold a market throughout the day, and now you are telling him now that I want to buy goods worth 100,000, and they are paid part of it and say, bring the goods to the car, then I'll pay you the balance. The next thing, they are hypnotized by drug or by chemical. At the end of the day, they've seen themselves, they are out in a place. That is what is happening now. We have cases in about 3 in mainland now. We have 1 in Ajah, and we have 1 in Ibejuleki. There is a girl, we are still trying to rescue her. She was just going to sell a granite. The other girl said, there is a man that always come to buy more and more and more. And he followed the man to go and deliver more to some people. And we're able to get her now. We are still tracing her. The one that I was taking to Ghana is just in the shop. And in the shop, and at the end of the day, they just said, come and we want to buy it. They pay for parts, and the other want to be collected in the car. That's how, since January, she was just rescued, since June this year, she was just rescued yesterday. And if you hear her story, just 15 years old, if you know how many, the way he had been debased and used as a sex worker for days. And she's, I don't know, we need to work more on working on her psychology in order to make her to be assimilated back into the society, to think like a normal young woman. So that is the challenges we are facing now. And we are doing more and more with NAPTIP. And again, NAPTIP, you know, now it is crime. And that means they need seasoned people. I will even recommend that we use maybe retired senior police officers that are still maybe young, but because of the numbers of years in service, those one can also police very well. They will know how to do the investigation and be able to track down those traffickers. And again, we added trial to it.
Tell us about some of these prosecutions and the convictions that you've gotten.
In prosecution, we're able to, because when we rescued, we're able to educate them, enlighten them, and tell them the reason why they should come to court to give evidence. And we have cooperation from most of those victims. They are ready to come. Their parents too. They are not even hiding it. Before it's like social stigma, but now they know that this is a crime. They are victim of a crime. And they are now coming out. Even parents will come out and say, this is how much I pay, this is the way it went, and then we are able to secure conviction. And Federal High Court, they are doing very well because we're giving accelerated hearing. The trial is fast, just like election matter. So it is quite encouraging. But we want more people to come out. By the time we want to do trial, we need that. And the other challenges we are facing is that once they are coming, because it's a crime, it's supposed to be state finance. But we are the one paying for the witnesses, bringing them to court, paying them to be able to transport themselves. You know, those victims, most of them, when they come here, they don't have anything. More or less, I'm like father to them. My wife is mother to them. And we have our own challenges too, but we have to add that, incorporate it, and it is not that smooth journey. And again, we've seen that in Lagos State, over 70% of the people internally trafficked have been brought to Lagos. We have them used as beggars. I was driving out of Lekki phase 1. You see all these children wearing nylon and still begging in the rain. I'm in a car. I'm just feeling the effect of the rain, cold, and these children are there. I believe that no parent will put their children under that kind of circumstances. And those children are internally trafficked. They are not their children. What they have to do is go and beg for money. And we want to look into that. And luckily for us, as last time when we are commemorating the World Anti-Traffic Day. So what we did was that we did a rally and we moved through the Ikeja GRA. We were able to get to the present governor's campaign office. So we met Tayo Ayinde then, the Director General. Now he's in government. That time we discussed with him and we accepted us and he listened to what he joined us in the parade. And at the end of the day, we told him that we have a proposal that we wanted to bring to government. We don't know who is going to win that time. So he assured us, and we are working assiduously to make sure that the bill, Lagos State did not have bill on protection on human trafficking. So we are trying to do that legislation for Lagos State. Edo State has, Delta State has. Last year, Edo State, they have their own. That is localized. So we want to do the one that is localized to be able to address the internal traffic people and also the internationally trafficked people, because Lagos State now is becoming a transit. And that's the reason we want the Lagos State government to have legislation to be able to protect people and also look at it before it goes beyond that. Internationally, over 40.3 million people were trafficked. If you look at the statistic, Nigeria is number 1. And because of our population, and that's the reason it is like that. And that's more reason we want to do that in Lagos State, and we're going to present it in couple of where there's some areas we are still working on. We present it to the governor, and then you can present it to the House of Assembly as executive bill, so that we will have laws in order to protect people and to deal with issue of human trafficking, especially internally trafficked people in Lagos State. And it has been that. Well, so when we want to prosecute, we have to be going to Federal High Court. And Federal High Court is that the issue. But if we have that, we'll be free to go to High Court of Lagos State, because if we have the Lagos State law, it will make the prosecution much easier. So we can have some cases in Federal High Court, we can have some cases in the High Court of Lagos State. And in Federal High Court, in the working one is in Lagos. In Lagos, I think Ikoyi. Now, but if we have the Lagos State law, if we have human trafficking, anti-human trafficking law in Lagos State, that means we can prosecute in Ekpe, we can prosecute in Ikorodu, we can prosecute in Ikeja, Lagos Island, and Badagry. We have 5 courts, division, that we can really spread our cases, depending on where the act emanated from.
In your years of this fight against human trafficking, what are your frustrations, constraints, and challenges?
Yes, we have some frustration. At least we have one that we've given NAPTIP the information about the trafficker, and at the end of the day they did the arrest, but because they were not well equipped, they did not go with enough police officers, and she escaped from their hands, and which is very, very disheartening. And I have another information which I gave them, and they cannot do. At the end of the day, I have to look for or dig into it. They can't do the investigation. I have to do the investigation, give them like you are fulfilling them, give the phone number, and they cannot follow. And when you give phone number, you should be able to do the tracking. We have to do the tracking for them, and then say this is where you can do the arrest. And then we have that, the slow pace in working, and some of them will give the information before they can act on it. The traffickers is already out of the country, and they are still doing their business.
Now we have quite a number of baby factories, across the states. I begin to think this. Do you think there's a connection between baby factories and internally trafficked persons?
NAPTIP is a specialized agency. They ought ordinarily to be able to handle it. And that was the reason the police now think that, although they have arms where it's being headed in Lagos here by Assistant Commissioner of Police Chioma Ajunwa, is the one handling that. She's the head of, we have relationship, we have work we did together. I believe that the police will have done that because they are well trained in prosecution. They have the prosecuting team, which NAPTIP is still coming up. Police has been there for years in Nigeria, and with that wealth of knowledge, they'll be able to do that investigation. They are trained there, except when the NAPTIP is being revamped very well, that they have more investigationary team that can handle that thing better than the police. I believe that the police, if it is the one that they are handling, they should do that very well. Because if you look at the baby factory, that's the reason parents have to be informed. Some of them, they will just tell you that she's my wife. What they do, they will go to the villages, marry this one, they will marry another one, dump them there, they will sell the babies. After like 2 babies here, they will take the person to another center. That's what they are doing. And if they are arrested, they will tell you that she's my wife. What are you talking about? She's my wife. What happened to the baby? The baby died. Wow. And the woman cannot account for where is the baby. And that is parents should be careful. Know where your little or young woman is married to. This is what the information that should be put out there, that anybody coming to the village want to marry girls, know where they're going to settle the family, where their family home will be.
Thank you so much for coming on the program. We've been speaking with Uche Akinwale, and we wish you luck in your project. Crime Watch continues.
Nigeria made a unilateral decision to shut its border with Benin on the 20th of August, soon after it closed sections of its border with Cameroon and Niger in an attempt to clamp down on smuggling of contraband goods, petrol products and food. One key concern cited by authorities was that the rice imported by the Beninese traders from Asia are illegally smuggled into Nigeria. The Comptroller General of Customs believes the partial closure of the borders has positively impacted on the Nigerian economy, with a large number of seizures and arrests having been made. These include the arrest of 317 smugglers, 146 illegal migrants, and the seizure of 21,071 bags of 50 kg parboiled rice, 119 vehicles, 891 drums of PMS, 2,666 jerrycans of vegetable oil, and a 66,000-litre tanker of vegetable oil, 133 motorcycles, as well as 131 bags of NPK fertilizers used for making explosives.
In order to send the message.
Mr. Ali stated that the partial border closure has reduced smuggling, curbed diversion of petroleum products, and enhanced the milling of Nigerian rice.
The exercise is being coordinated by the Office of the National Security Advisor, ONSA, and is aimed at better securing our borders in order to strengthen our economy and address other trans-border security concerns. Over time, Nigeria has been confronted with numerous trans-border economic and security challenges. These challenges range from banditry, kidnapping, smuggling, illegal migrants, and proliferation of light weapons, among others.
Of the weak borders.
On his part, the Comptroller General of Immigration, Mohammed Babandede, added that 1,111 persons have been refused entry into the country because of failure to obtain proper documentation, 7 persons deported, and 20 more about to be deported. Mr. Babandede also noted that any immigrant who has overstayed his visa in the country has up until 19th January 2020 to register biometrics or will be removed from the country.
After January 19, any person who is not a citizen of Nigeria and has not taken advantage of this registration of Mr. President will be removed from Nigeria. So these are efforts we are doing to make sure we sanitize the issues, not only depending on the border closure.
The borders are open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to persons with proper documentation and who go through the recognized spots.
The partial closure of those borders are in 4 geopolitical zones in the country: the South-South, Southwest, North Central and the Northwest. The government is yet to give a date on when these borders will be fully reopened.
Just before we go, let's leave you with these security tips. That's our package this week. Remember to join us again, same station, same time next week. Till then, do have a crime-free week.